Quick check of the markets now on this Friday morning with Tom Piotrowski over at CommSec. How are we looking today, Tom? What's the read?
Pete, it's looking quite optimistic. We've got the futures pointing to a gain of 0.5%. So that is a nice addition to yesterday's improvement when the market was up by close to 1%. And we have had an interesting turn of events where Wall Street's concerned. So one of the highlights of the week, in a week where we've had a few, the consumer inflation report for the month of June was released. And this was better than what the market had expected. In fact, it was the first time we'd seen a monthly decline in US inflation since May of 2020. And the underlying rate of inflation came in better than expected. There were quite a few highlights here that you would normally expect stocks to celebrate, but it was quite the opposite affair. In fact, the Nasdaq down by close to 2%, the S&P 500 down by about 1%. The Dow Jones clung to positive territory. But what we saw is investors hone in on those organisations that we talk about so often that have been doing incredibly well. Tesla, Nvidia, the chip stocks, they all got marked down aggressively, Pete. Sellers taking advantage of the strength. And, just to highlight, the Nasdaq over the last 12 months has risen by about 33%. So that's precisely what investors are trying to consolidate on. So it's a question of whether or not the market bounces back tonight. But the markets in the US now pricing in a near certainty that the US Federal Reserve will be cutting interest rates in September as a result of these figures. A better than 90% chance of a rate cut in September. So markets are certainly hyperventilating about that prospect. Elsewhere, commodity prices generally firmer thanks to a weaker US dollar. We've got gold prices up by close to 2%. Oil's up by about 1%. The Aussie dollar flirted with 68 US cents briefly overnight, but it's pulled back to around 67.6 US cents.
Okay, Tom, thank you.